Oh, hello. Oh, hello and welcome one and all to the Big Bad Caffeinated Podcast. Once again, we are coming at you, and hopefully, we are all working and good here. Because to be honest, I'm not 100% sure this is working, but never mind. We will carry on. The show must go on, as they say. So yeah, welcome once again. Good to be back, and hopefully all things are going well in your world. Yeah, so kick back once again. We're going to have another show. I always start off these intros and I get a little bit fumbled because I'm trying while the song's playing to make sure everything's set up and running properly. And hopefully we're good. Hopefully we're good. I'm trying to monitor it on my phone as we go. And yep, I think we're there. I think we're good. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to start off. Have a whole bunch of news to cover to this evening, so we're going to get into it. Going to go quickly. But I do have a little bit of a theme tonight. I think, which is basically, I don't think you hate the media enough, and I'm going to get into it and more. But one of the things I think just sums us up greatly was a statement from the great Gene Simmons. So we're going to go to, if this will all work. Here we go, Gene Simmons. So these are this is an interview, I think it was posted by TMZ. But yeah, here's what he has to say, and I think it was just brilliant. So without further ado, the words from the man himself.
I know right now Ben Stiller is calling out the president, saying he doesn't want him to use his movie clips for war propaganda. I mean, it sounds like a lot of people are kind of, criticizing Trump, like Hollywood right now, over this war thing. Is that fair?
Yeah, because everybody in the world should listen what actors and comedians say because they're so qualified. Basically, shut the up. Do your art and shut up. Nobody's interested in your opinions. That includes me. Who I vote for, who I like. Who the do you think you are? People in America work hard for their living and they don't want to be lectured to by people who live in mansions and drive Rolls Royces. It's time for everybody in the entertainment industry to shut their pie hole and just do your art. Nobody cares what you think. I don't.
Okay.
What will Mark Ruffalo, how do you pronounce his
Mark
name?
Ruffalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ruffalo, Buffalo. What does Mark think about politics? I don't care.
So you think celebrities should stay out of the politic talk?
Well, we
Just
both
don't-
agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Or
It's so great that he just specifically calls out Mark Ruffalo, who never seems to shut up. No matter what he's doing, he's got to voice his opinion on everything and thinks that it's everybody needs to hear it.
go to Kylie Jenner and ask her what she thinks of the war.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Oh, that's what we need more of. It's Kylie Jenner. You're giving her opinion. I'm sure it's very well educated, and she's done her research. Probably, genuinely, probably about as much as Mark Ruffalo. So we have that. But yeah, I think as much as it might be nice now and then to find out that you have the same opinion as a celebrity. For the most part, no, I absolutely back this statement 100%. Like, I do not want to hear the opinions from the entertainment industry largely, who all said what a fantastic guy. I'm brain blanking now, which is the Harvey Weinstein. you know, that they were all, he was such a great guy, you know, until it became very apparent he wasn't, and everybody was covering for him. So it's like, no, thanks, guys. Thank you, but no, I don't want to hear what you have to say on this. Absolutely not. But like, this is an absolute thing that's going on. Like, you know, I'm sure it always has been this way to a little bit. But the media is, you just cannot trust them, and it continues to amaze, I think, everybody, just how much you cannot. And there's so much happening in the world, and there was a lot of chaos, and it's like even the really important things that you think, oh, you know, just like cover the facts, that's all we really want from you. No, they can't do that. And there was, of course, this attack that happened in New York just the other day. I think it might have been 2 days ago now, and I don't know how much it was covered in New Zealand, to be honest. I only really saw clips going around online. But here, I'm just going to show you a quick clip. So I'm sure most people are aware of this, but, you know, quick version from there was, I believe, I think it was legitimately like an anti-Muslim protest, like people saying, hey, look, we're not happy about how many Muslim immigrants are in the country. You know, think they're dangerous. They think they should be, you know, not be there. I'm not really going to comment too much on that, but the fact that how this, and obviously people showed up to counter-protest that, which is their right to do. And I don't have any opinion on that. So long as people, both sides, are keeping peaceful, I don't really have a problem with you making your voices heard, because that's your right to do so. However, just the insanity that broke loose from this is just insane. Okay, so I just here's the clip that I'm sure a lot of people will have seen. Oh, if I go that one there we go. And here we go. So this is the bit. This is the counter-protester, obviously going back against them. So I'll let the man speak himself.
You don't live in New York. You're coming to New York to tell people who belongs in New York and who doesn't belong in New York. We were born and raised in New York, and we want everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
And then he's interrupted by even at slowed down by a man throwing a bomb and yelling "Allahu Akbar." So a bit wild there. Obviously, you know, it's probably not the best idea if if people are protesting and saying, hey, we want a certain demographic out, they're violent and cause problems. If then that demographic goes and hurls a bomb, it's probably not the bright messaging that you want out there, guys. But hey, you know, if that's what you're going to do. So yeah, that's what happened. But what was really fascinating about this is how then how the media chose to cover this, you know, which once again, like the whole point of this here is just how you cannot trust them. And I think nothing really shows you how clear this is as much as this a post put out by CNN, which they got absolutely and rightfully so dragged for this statement here, is how they presented the story. Just trying to jump. There we go. Oh, that might be a bit better. There we go. So according to CNN, 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside of Mir Zohran Mamdani's home. Here's what we know so far. And if you know what actually happened, what went on here, you'd immediately pick up on the fact that, hold on, this has been worded very carefully to make it sound like the anti-Muslim protesters were the ones who threw the bomb. Which obviously, if you watched the video or if you knew anything about what actually happened, that isn't the case. But that's CNN don't want to actually address the actual facts of the situation. No. They want to create a narrative around it, and if they can, just by presenting a carefully worded headline, absolutely change the narrative, then they will do that. This is modern journalism right here. But fortunately, people absolutely can't caught on, as you can imagine. Oh, jump back to the right seats. And the replies on this were just absolutely fantastic. So this one, a math prodigy was accepted to Harvard at age 15 for what could have been a lifetime of achievement. But after living in the wilderness in Montana and writing a prescient manifesto about industrial society, his life will drastically change due to packages he sent in the mail. Which is, if you know, you know. And more after a promising young law student had his life ruined after a series of first blind dates go horribly wrong. So, obviously Ted Bundy there. Yeah, and this one here again. This one I've actually put it over. A 20-something Texas man, Lee Harvard Oswald, hitched a ride to Alice for what may have been a normal Friday enjoying abnormally crisp fall weather. But in less than an hour, his life would drastically change as he was arrested for firing 3 shots from a rifle at John F. Kennedy's motorcade. Here's what we know so far. Yeah, and once again, New York Times. 2 young religious flight students crash planes while practicing for commercial licenses. I absolutely love And there's another one here about a promising young art. Yeah, as you can see in the replies, they are absolutely getting dragged for this, and rightfully so, because this is just absolutely disgusting. That they just thought that they could get away with it, and yeah, this is what they think of their readers. And I think there was a reply here from Konstantin Kissin that I thought was absolutely brilliant as well. If I can find that quickly. Oh, because there was a second message by them by, if I can just bring this up here. Oh, OBS is going a little bit slow on me today, so hopefully the stream itself is actually going. Hopefully, that's kind of the main thing I'm really worried about here. I might just check. But anyway, so, according to CNN, a post regarding the 2 individuals arrested for throwing homemade bombs outside New York City Mayor Zoran Mandami's home failed to reflect the gravity of the incidents, thereby breaching the editorial standards we require for all our reporting. It has therefore been deleted. And then, I've got to say, you may not like everything that Elon Musk does, but the community notes on posts is just an absolute brilliant addition. Not perfect. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it is a brilliant addition. And here they point out both CNN's original post and follow-up deletion statement exemplify minimalized framing, a media bias technique that downplays an event's severity via selective narrative and language. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They selectively worded what they were saying to so people, they know full well that most people are only going to pay attention to the headline, and they're not really going to read the full story. So therefore, they can absolutely provide deceptive details in that headline, while technically, if their wording may be true, it's actually deceptive and giving the wrong impression to anybody who reads it. That's the whole point of it. And I don't know who still would I suppose this is CNN, it's not New York Times, so I don't suppose anybody's paying for that. I think they did try a paid streaming service, and they failed in less than a month, and like hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. Imagine that, hundreds of millions of dollars of debt in less than a month. Just what a while. But anyway, yeah, this reply from Konstantin Kissin, it didn't fail to reflect the gravity of the situation. It failed to accurately communicate who was responsible, who the intended victims were, and where the blame for the attempted terrorist attack lay. In other words, you didn't accidentally downplay the seriousness of it. You deliberately misrepresented what happened to conceal the truth from the public. Which is, once again, I really like Konstantin Kissin. Very smart guy, and absolutely hits the nail on the head. Yeah, because that's exactly what they were doing. And yeah, so it was really good to see that at least it was called out straight away. I do think, once again, wasn't for Elon Musk buying Twitter, a few years back, I don't think anybody would have known. Like, how would you know? Because it was really an echo chamber. If they didn't want you to find out this information, you didn't find it out. And that's how these journalist organizations got away with actually saying whatever they wanted. And there is also, I've got to show you this as well. This coverage of it. Here we go. I'm just trying to jump around on my scenes here. There we go. This shared by Tommy Robinson. Hopefully this is going to play all right.
Oh no, friends, we don't throw things at people, even when we have very big feelings inside. Isn't that right, friends? Friends, sometimes people do things that seem scary. But we have to ask
Brilliant, Miss Rachel.
So many big feelings that day.
Were they bad guys?
No. They were just very confused.
Oh, confused friends. That's it.
Want you here? Go back to your country.
Well, that's not very nice to say, is it?
You can't say that.
Piece of language, please. These boys could have grown up to become CNN journalists, members of this beautiful community. Because some mean people may feel like they didn't belong here, they made a little bitty mistake by throwing a bomb into a crowd of people.
Just a little bit of a mistake. Easily done. Oh. Yeah, that's AI might be the death of us all, but like if it brings those kind of memeable videos, I'm not gonna lie, I'm all here for it. Yeah, and so also we have now Steven Crowder covered this a bit as well, and I want to bring up that because the man behind the microphone who had the bomb thrown over him, he had some statements to make, and Steven Crowder on Louder with Crowder podcast broke that down, and I thought that was well worth a listen as well. So he will jump to that quickly. If I can, here we go. Is that going to, here we go, play.
Those who stand only to gain will vote solely for gain. This brings us to Islamic terrorism and the gaslighting from the left. Here was, of course, the infamous video that you saw yesterday or sometime this weekend.
We were born and raised in New York, and we want everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
Now, the reason this is important is because I've had people come up, right, and I think it's a line of attack. Have you ever actually had your mind changed? Well, actually, I have. On a few things as new information comes in. I wouldn't say my mind has been changed. Maybe the path to the solution is different because new information provides context. I've never gone from pro-life to pro-abortion, for example. I've never gone from pro-Second Amendment to anti-Second Amendment. But I've changed my mind, for example, like, oh, there's a different way to generate revenue when you see that tariffs can be applied fruitfully. So yes, but you would think that this scenario, right? Someone going, hey, the problem is anti-Islam xenophobia, Allahu Akbar, bomb thrown right in front of them. You would think that would be kind of textbook. You should probably change your mind. Your mind should be changed because someone tried to kill you.
Yeah, that would cause me to
how,
question
Walter
things.
Masterson, that's the man in that video. Here's how he reacted to it online.
This is amazing.
Perfectly parallels the viewpoint of the left versus conservatism. I was in the middle of saying, as a born and raised New Yorker, we welcome everyone into the city, and he threw that over my head. And I still stand by it. This is not satire.
Stand by what? The bomb?
Yes. As a born and raised in New Yorker, everyone is welcome. Everyone except Chief Goat Effer Jake Lang, not the person who threw the bomb.
Right.
I cannot stress this enough. It was right near our feet, and it did not look real.
Jeez.
We just stood there laughing. Meanwhile, the incel femoids ran away, having been totally jester-mogged. Their cortisol levels have yet to recover. If you appreciate my work, go to my Patreon and show me some love. So,
Jeez.
Can you just imagine that? That is insane. Like, that you just survived a bomb being thrown over you, and it's just on the ground in front of you, and you're like, huh, what's that? Like, I can understand not knowing what's going on, but then later on, you're like, those cowards ran away from a bomb. It was at our feet. It just wasn't a big deal. Yeah, that's called being ridiculously lucky, bro. Like, it could have easily gone off right in front of you, and just unbelievable. And once again, he's like, the only people who don't belong here are the right-wing chuds.
this perfectly parallels the leftist worldview versus the... I know you're hearing this and you're thinking it's almost satire. This guy actually thinks it's a good point. So, this man was looking at a bomb in front of him, thrown by a man over his shoulder, yelling, Allahu Akbar, and he says it's fine. The people, someone like you, who see a bomb thrown by a terrorist yelling Allahu Akbar are the pussies, are the idiots. If you want to
Seems
protect
straightforward.
your family, your country, yourself, you are the idiot because he doesn't have a basic instinct of self-preservation. Literally, rats do if they see a threat. This man thinks that this is he will give his life. I wasn't afraid of a bomb. What are you, you femoid? He will give his life to virtue signal.
That is insane.
It's like a faggot jihad.
He got his 72 buttholes. Don't worry.
Yes. And they'll do this all the time, right? Oh, yeah? Well, you need a gun to protect yourself? I don't. I'm a man. What do you have, a tiny dick? They'll do that all the time.
Yes and yes.
Yeah. It's like, what is this?
What about it?
Is this high school where someone goes, what? You flinched. You know who always flinches? A professional boxer. Oh, you mean you're trying to protect yourself? This guy thinks it's a good point. Can you believe that these people saw a bomb and a man yelling Allahu Akbar and ran? Those are the people I want out of my city, not the man who threw the bomb.
Yeah. When he yelled at Allahu Akbar, somebody screamed. I'm like, that's the appropriate response.
Yes.
It is almost never said in this context in a peaceful way. Right? This isn't like some nice guy walking down the street saying it. It's running out of protest against Muslims taking over the city.
Yeah, it does seem absolutely insane that at least it's like, hey, if there's somebody throwing a bomb and you know, at a crowd trying to hurt them, maybe that person shouldn't be free in society at the very least. Maybe it was an accident that somebody like that was allowed into the country. Maybe, like, you don't even ask those questions? No. Everybody's free on foreign land. I think that kind of narrative falls apart a little bit when they start throwing bombs. It's like, okay, maybe not everybody. Not that guy. Not that guy throwing the bombs. No, we call me extremist. I'm gonna want that guy removed. Yeah.
Screaming it.
Now apply this to everything. Oh, what? So you're afraid of immigrants coming in and committing crimes? You're afraid of MS-13? Yes. Oh, wait. So,
seems
so
fair.
you're afraid of a religion of which 198 million followers globally believe in violence against infidels or apostates? Yes. So what? So you believe that you should be able to what? You should have a gun to protect yourself because you're afraid of rapists or gang members? Yes. Yes. So just like when the left says, oh, it's unconstitutional. They're lying to you. I'm a Christian, but anytime a leftist man tries to portray themselves as a tough guy or brave guy, you know it's an act. Now, after being dumped on by the internet, this man, Masterson, released a follow-up that we referenced, I think, earlier.
Yeah, this was great.
Outside and tell everyone else.
That's me in the video getting a bomb thrown over my head. Let me just give you some context for
No. If you thought, oh, he's had a chance to reflect. No, not really. No.
what was happening. So this was at a rally hosted by white supremacist Jake Lang. He's
Okay, to be fair, the guy's a moron.
on January 6th, pardoned by Donald Trump. He was holding an anti-Muslim rally when this guy jumped over me and committed an act of terrorism. That sounds confusing. Let
No.
me start over. So Jake Lang was holding the rally. He's known for three things: being a domestic terrorist from January 6th, pardoned by Donald.
You know who else is a terrorist? People who throw bombs in the crowds. Just throwing it out there. Even I know this is a crazy thought. Even if you don't like the people in the crowd, even if they're horrible people, if somebody's throwing a bomb into their crowd, the person who threw the bomb is also a terrorist. Just throwing that out there.
Donald Trump, losing to the letter S. And as
I don't know, he
found
broke the
today,
S. I don't know what it's
grooming
about.
15-year-old girls. Jake Lang was
Yeah, there
holding
was-
this rally, saying things like this.
America is a white Christian country.
If you're saying America is for white Christian men, you're a white supremacist. Now, I really want to be clear that I made a huge mistake in not taking cover after this explosive device was thrown. If you're at a public event and someone throws what looks like an explosive device, you're not
it
a
was.
wimp for taking.
Also, generally, if you're, it's good advice. Generally, if you're at a public event and somebody throws what looks like a explosive device, if you're close enough to tell them that that's what it is, you're in trouble. Hopefully, you're like this guy, and it doesn't go off, because otherwise, it's probably too late. Yeah.
Cover.
Is it
We
common?
were counter-protesting, making Jake Lang look like the idiot that he is, when these two idiots came along and committed an act of terrorism. They
Oh, there we go. He actually acknowledged it. Yeah. Was that so hard?
could not have done more to legitimize Jake Lang's white
Uh-huh.
supremacist
Good.
talking points.
He gets
they
it now.
literally threw the bomb over my head while I was talking about inclusion. The CIA should definitely be paying them.
He included you in the blast radius.
That I was not practicing safety that day. I could have been killed, and that weighs very heavy on both me and my family. And all that being said, I'm not going to use this as an excuse to be a xenophobic bigot. Elon Musk and all of right-wing media are having a field day right now because I am choosing inclusion and not bigotry. I still stand by my original point, which is I'm a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York. New York City is for everyone, except for terrorists who throw bombs and goat fucking white supremacists like Jake Lang.
So all that really means is he realizes how it came off, and he's trying to say, "Oh, I'm not saying you're a coward if you're." It doesn't change the fact that not only in the moment, but a follow-up, which he thoughtfully wrote on X. What is your duty as a man, as a husband, father, from what I hear in that video, as an American? Is your primary duty to let everybody know how inclusive you are? Or is your primary duty to keep you, your family, your community safe? In that moment, in the absence of complete information, though I would say the picture is pretty much complete when it's Allahu Akbar, tick, 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 tick. That's just me. I make the inference.
Yeah.
He chose virtue signaling. In other words, he chose, no, the message of tolerance and inclusion. By the way, in the complete absence of data, of polling numbers, that many, many Muslims, of course, not only support violence against non-Muslims and against heretics, against infidels, but they also, by the way, make up the most significant portion of terrorism and have done so for many decades. So even with all that information, his priority is no white guilt. Diversity is our strength. Virtue signal over basic human safety. You want people like him leading you? And let's just take this down the trail, too. Remember after 9/11, they wanted to build a mosque around Ground Zero? When people say...
Yeah, and like I just found that guy insane. His takes on everything. And even when he's trying to acknowledge, it's like if you gave it to this guy, if he had any kind of political power in order to address these issues, you know that he's 100% going to focus all his removing the problem on the right wingers. Because if you get rid of the right wingers, then the people who are throwing bombs are what they're not gonna want to be terrorists or something. Like, anyway, because that's how he thinks. And yeah. So yeah, that's like just some absolute insanity there. Anyway, hey, look, guys, if you enjoy this show and you want to support the channel, please, it means a lot. Please consider dropping a follow. It means a whole lot to the channel. And yeah, we will continue on here. There were a couple of other things I wanted to talk about this evening. Oh, just quickly on the subject of AI videos, I thought this one was good. We're just gonna. Oh, no, let's just go. Here we go. I saw this one here. Lord of the Rings pawn shop. Here we go.
Take the ring to Mordor.
What can I help you with?
I have a ring I would like to sell you.
Baseball or football?
Neither. This kind.
Oh, this kind.
I wish the ring had never come to me. So I'm here at
So sell it. Sell it.
Try and sell it.
I really got to get this ring in my shop. This is not as uncommon as you might think. They actually made 20 of them. So what were you looking to do with it?
Maybe I should just keep it. Keep it safe.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $20 for it.
I will take the ring to Mordor.
Well done. Yeah, it's silly, but like I said, yeah, some of these AI videos are good. What can I say? I enjoy it. Simple things. I'm a simple man, and yeah, that makes me laugh. Now, there was another story I wanted to cover as well. Once again, on the subject of the media not being genuine at all. Just in no way at all being genuine. So this revolves around, so there's a YouTuber YouTube in Texas, a guy named Brandon Herrera. Lots of people know him. He's got like 4 million followers or something like that on YouTube. Anyway, pretty awesome dude. Does a whole bunch of educational gun related videos and hosts a podcast. Anyway, he made the decision to jump into politics, or make a run for political office. I think he's going for Congress. And one of the first steps he had to do was to he run against the Republican person in his area. So he did that. He did manage to win. Was, to be fair, the guy he was running against, turns out, was really horrible, was having an affair with someone. And the woman he was having an affair with, when it came out, she lit herself on fire. And, yeah, ended things that way. So, also smoked his political career, but, you know, just deservedly so. So anyway, he's got that. So now he has to face the election, actually, the whole performance. It's a little bit confusing for me here in New Zealand. America do it a bit different, but hey, that's all good. Anyway, so now he's gotten the first step. So now he's the Republican candidate, and I think he just as well got a endorsement from Donald Trump, which, you know, good for him, I suppose. If you're a right winger, that's probably what you're going to want there. But anyway, of course, because he has done that, there has been a bunch of clips circulating now about him. Because obviously now he's into the big leagues, I should say. I guess you could say. And that has resulted in this clip here going around about him. And I'm just going to play it because, once again, it shows just how this is from No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. Well, let's just see. So he goes, oh crap, a clip just unearthed of Texas GOP congressional nominee Brandon Herrera showing off his copy of Mein Kampf. I got a 1939 edition printed in English. Now once again, as you can maybe see down here, there is some readers added context. But let's just play the video. This is what no lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. You know, truth teller. Here we go.
Some great points.
That's my copy at my house next to a bunch of the German stick grenades. I got the 1939 edition printed in English just because I thought it was wild that you couldn't buy it on Amazon, but you can buy the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital.
Well, this was more expensive than the...
I mean, that is also just the last thing he said there is... That is also a good point. You can buy the Communist Manifesto, which if you want to go, who's cost them more lives? Communist Manifesto, and like just hands down, like absolutely just it's the greatest way if you want to end a whole bunch of innocent lives. The Communist Manifesto, there's no better way so far in modern society for the last 150 years. We haven't even come close to it. But anyway, that's the clip he shared. So it obviously appears to be Brandon Herrera bragging about having a copy of Mein Kampf, an English version, at his home. Oh, I didn't mean to go that one there. Let's just see a little bit more. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the selectively edited clip is from a September 2024 podcast episode where Brandon Herrera and guests mock Mein Kampf as dogshite, schizophrenic, and ineffective rhetoric, while noting its historical print rarity. He owns it as a collector's item. So here is the full clip. Oh, this is actually 8 minutes long. I'm not going to go for all of that, but we will play a bit of that here, so you can actually get a full look at what they were actually talking about.
Yeah. The first page you open, it's like
a nice surprise when they open it.
The plot thickens.
So originally, I really was deeply invested in communism. I truly believed in it until I started reading this other book, and I started really diving into it. And well, it just it comes from a very trusted source, and he just was really starting to speak some truth to it, and I started to realize that communism probably doesn't work the way people think it does. Now, if you want, I did bring the book with me. I know where this is going.
Yep.
Have you guys read this?
Oh, oh my God! This is good.
Yep.
No.
Nope.
Even better.
Try again.
Oh, like that one. A.H. Author A.H.
Yeah.
You knew what this was.
Oh,
right?
I knew it. One of the reasons I knew what it was.
Dude, I just like you were like, I'm coming on to Unsub. You know who would love some books?
See, we're trying to be.
I have quite the catalog to pick from.
We actually want to be fair and balanced, so we brought both. I no shit have a
he has
picture
some great
somewhere.
points, as you were saying.
Yeah, he's got some great points.
That's my copy at my house next to a bunch of the
Okay.
German stick grenades.
So to be fair,
I got
here it does look like maybe they're happy about this book.
just because I thought it was wild that you couldn't buy it on Amazon, but you can buy the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital.
Well, this was more expensive than the Communist Manifesto, so I guess communism does.
It has a couple more pages.
Yeah, a couple more pages, but when someone brings out a copy of Mein Kampf, your first question is probably, why do they own that?
It's a good question.
There's
It's a good question.
a lot of good reasons. If we turn to page 447.
Well, hold on. Was that a bookmark?
Have you actually read this book? It's dog shit.
Yeah, so it is so
fucking
schizo.
Sucks.
It's so bad. It's all over the.
But they're just gonna cut segments out of this. Brandon's like, yeah, I own a copy. Oh, great reading.
No, yeah.
It's just segment this, and you're like, well, here's our career.
No, yeah. Cut it up for the intro so it makes me look like a fucking unhinged Nazi, right?
And we all just agree.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's exactly what they did. Exactly what they did. Even though, like, if they'd just gone, not even a minute longer, you can see the point where both of these guys are mocking this book, calling it absolute dog shite, and, for what it is. But that doesn't matter to, to the media organization. No, they want to portray you in the worst possible light, and they will absolutely do it. Doesn't matter if it's complete lies, or, deceptively editing. They will happily do that in order to run down somebody that they don't agree with. That is modern journalism for you. You think that people go to to get a journalism degree to learn how to tell the truth. No, you don't need that. You need a journalism degree so you know how to deceptively represent the truth while misleading your audience. That's what you go to journalism school for. That's what it is. So yeah, this is once again absolutely disgusting. Now, the last thing that I did want to talk about, I will have to end the show soon, but I did start to talk about the other day about there was what was the girl's name? Lady Tilly Middlehurst on a podcast and had made some accusations of the assault variety against Andrew Wilson. And I think it was towards the end of my stream, and so it didn't quite go smoothly. I couldn't quite explain what was going on clearly. But I saw this video, and this is by somebody I quite enjoy. So I thought I will. Oh no, where are we going? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is the Whatever podcast is about to sue this woman over false allegations, and this is from the Dadfigurt. She's quite big on YouTube, and actually I haven't subscribed. There we go. I do recommend subscribing. You know who else you can subscribe to? And that is the Big Bad Caffeinated Podcast. It's right up here or down there, depending on where you're watching right at the moment. Well worth the follow as well. But also the Dadfigurt is pretty good. Yeah, and she done. I used to follow her on Instagram or something. Does some great videos. But anyway, that's enough. Let's get into this one here. See what she has to say.
Podcast are looking into suing Tilly Middlehurst for defamation after she just publicly called Andrew Wilson a rapist on her platform. Let's get right into it. If you
missed that was a rapist without the G. I'm sure you're down.
People are. Andrew Wilson is the host of a podcast called The Crucible and is also a regular guest on the Whatever podcast, where he is more widely known for being the bad smoky man who yells at drunk OnlyFans girls, and then the pickle incident.
All right, bro, I can't do it. Here.
All right, I'm supposed to open the pickle jar?
Yeah. Really immature.
It's all fucking slick now.
It's a little. See, it is.
I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either.
Uh-oh. I can't.
Okay, this situation is objectively hilarious. Okay, so because it kind of clips, so I'll just explain it in case you aren't familiar with what happened here. So he's having a debate against this feminist, and I believe I haven't seen the full clip of this part here, but I believe essentially what happened. I think she might have been making an argument about not needing a man in her life. And I think he had said something about needing to open jars, or made some joke there. And she said she could do it herself. They happened to bring a jar out of pickles or olives, I forget which. And he tried to get her to open the pickle jar or olive jar. And she couldn't do that. And then so she slid it over to him for him to be the man and open it up. And he couldn't do it, which is objectively hilarious. So now whenever he gets regularly called up that aren't you the guy who couldn't open the jar? Which, hey, look, if you put this in yourself in your situation, that is what's going to happen. And, you kind of open yourself up to that. And yeah, it will stick with you. I do feel like, to be fair, I think he made some comment about made it slippery. As a guy with sisters, I used to open jars for them all the time, And there were several occasions where they would have had hand cream on, and they actually make the top of they make the lid slippery, and it makes it really hard to grip it off. I feel like it's at least plausible that that's what's happened here. And it's like, I've been in this situation, but I've never been in this situation while on a podcast with like thousands of people watching and then failing to make the point that you made. So it is objectively hilarious, but I can see how this would happen.
Grip the fucker. Like, I gotta have a way to grip it.
Yeah.
It's called your
I
hands.
see the same thing. Try it. Nah, you fucker.
Brian Atlas is the host of the Whatever podcast, and I doubt you have lived your life online without seeing at least a few clips from his show. And finally, Tilly Middlehurst is a Cambridge graduate debate bro who actually once famously debated Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm not a huge fangirl of any of these people or their shows, but I have to admit that both Andrew Wilson and Tilly Middlehurst are really great debaters. And until recently, I actually did have quite a bit of respect for Tilly because she seems to be very articulated, restrained, and unemotional, even during some of the most challenging debate topics. However, she just f***ed up so bad. Let me just show you the clip. Tilly Middlehurst is on the left, and in this live stream, she is talking to another debate bro who goes by Not So Erudite.
He's a rapist. Andrew Wilson's a rapist. I saw you did you sit with Andrew Wilson?
You can see how uncomfortable this woman is here when she makes these statements too. And like, she just like says it without any thought about what she's saying. But the reason why she says this is just insane.
Wilson. That's one thing I would disagree with you doing, which is interesting. Like, maybe that's where the debate
to Andrew
will
Wilson?
happen. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I just worry immediately for your safety in that moment because of the fact that he's a rapist. Andrew Wilson's a rapist. I mean, he's admitted on live streams before on his podcast that he doesn't really believe in what he understands the modern version of consent to look like, and his entire career is upon a foundational premise that you get clicks by bullying underage girls or women who are underqualified to speak about political problems. And I'm not saying that that's you. I actually don't think that is you at all. And I think that he went out on a limb when he debated you because that's not usually the type of person that he would engage with.
Now, the criteria of why she's making this accusation is insane. And I do want to hear what the dad has to say about that as well. But he's saying, she makes a career like being mean to silly women online who don't know what they're talking about. It's like, he enters debates with people who voluntarily enter debates with them. So like, there is that. And also, both of these women do exactly the same thing. They will debate guys who are idiots, and they'll be really happy to do so. So it's like, come on, fair's fair. Like, you all do this thing that she's complaining about now.
But like, I think that's for the men. I think Andrew Wilson is for the men to tackle because his audience are so. I mean, I've probably watched 20 hours or more of his
I don't believe she's watched 20 hours.
And I've been approached before to come on whatever, and I just said no because I don't think there's any winning. And that's, so I would want you to speak to your experience of that, because I was frankly not going to go and sit in a room with a bunch of men who don't believe in consent. I was spooked.
Yeah. It feels, correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like a commentary on platforming in general. And I have very mixed thoughts about platforming, and maybe you disagree. Maybe it is not a platforming. And so correct me. Am I misunderstanding you and saying it somewhat feels
maybe a little?
Okay.
Maybe a little, because I'm not big on the argument of you platforming, you're legitimizing these ideas. I think that's actually a really complex and nuanced topic that people slap a big thought terminating cliche on. You're legitimizing, you're doing this. I was genuinely just worried that a woman was engaging in the debate. I think that in this instance, when it comes to men like this, it should be a man who engages in that particular debate. And also, I was literally worried for your physical safety. I'm worried for the physical safety of the women who go in person to these podcast environments. I've heard horror stories of them forcing you to film for 8-9 hours and then promising you reimbursement, but then they're dragging out the debate until they get until they're satisfied, and only then will they reimburse you. And people have been stranded out in the desert trying to get back home because of the, like, I've heard horror stories from so many
I'm pretty sure
women.
that
Obviously, I'm
podcast
not gonna
happens
put
from
them on
like
blast here,
middle
but
of LA.
women who've spoken to me personally about their experiences, and none of them have been good. So that was, I disagreed with you going because I was just thinking, oh, what is she doing? Nothing to do with platforming, you know?
Yeah. So I suppose in my experience, I have a pretty decent working relationship with Brian Atlas, the host. He repaid me, so we negotiated ahead of time that he was going to pay for travel and stay, and he reimbursed me within 24 hours. So I had no reimbursement issues. Afterwards, he offered to take me out for food. He got food on set, but I've definitely never felt for even a second physically under threat from either of these individuals, like in no way, shape, or form.
Okay, so in that clip, Tilly makes a lot of incredibly outrageous claims.
Also, just quick note, Andrew Wilson's wife thanked the other girl, the not so erudite one, for being upfront and saying, hey, she never felt unsafe at all with around Andrew or Brian, and that they were completely normal and that she hung out fine. I just thought that was an interesting thing for her to note.
Obviously, first and foremost, the most outrageous claim being that Andrew Wilson is a rapist. Now again, I'm not even an Andrew Wilson fan. I've been very critical of Andrew Wilson in the past, but one thing that I'm not about to criticize Andrew Wilson for is for being something that he's not. Andrew Wilson is a lot of things. He's an asshole. He's inflammatory. He's provocative, but he's not a rapist, and you can't say that he is. And her argument supporting this claim is that when guests are invited onto the Whatever podcast, they're often kept there for several hours at a time, which can often be true. I've seen episodes go for over 6 hours at times, but when you think about it, that is really just a standard working shift for most people working regular jobs that are awaiting reimbursement. Working for over 6 hours consensually is not SA. She additionally states that she worries for guests' safety. The Whatever Podcast channel has been posting since 2013, so that is well over a decade.
Well, I didn't even realize they were going that long.
Every single guest has left physically unscathed, maybe a little bit embarrassed, maybe a little bit shaken up from not being able to debate or defend.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm curious who she's talked about that apparently had these really bad experiences. Maybe they were on different podcasts, like, maybe there's some more. But if it was about whatever, it's probably that they embarrassed themselves. I feel like that's the most likely answer for this one.
Defend themselves properly, but no one has ever been actually physically or actually harmed. And finally, she claims that guests who are invited onto the Whatever podcast are left abandoned in the desert. The Whatever podcast is filmed in Santa Barbara, California. This is a place with a beautiful coastal temperate
I mean, it's not a
climate
bad
and is
place to be stranded.
surrounded by beaches. I don't know if Tilly knows what a desert is, but Santa Barbara, California is not a desert. And even not so erudite, you could see, is just like shocked by what Tilly is saying and even stood up for these people, saying, nope, I've actually always felt safe. I have a great working relationship with these people. I've always been paid very quickly after the show. I truly thought that Tilly Middlehurst was a pretty respectable woman, even if we don't agree on absolutely everything. But my jaw was hitting the floor when she was saying these things. Because even if I don't care about Brian Atlas or about Andrew Wilson, the things that she is saying and the claims that she is making cause so much harm to all victims of actual SA. Saying that you've been because you stayed on a podcast for over 6 hours or your payment was delayed is incredibly harmful to real victims, because you are absolutely distorting the gravity of the definition of real sexual violence. Things like this are why victims have such a hard time being believed. Accusing someone of being a is one of the most important and significant accusations you could ever make. So what Tilly is doing here, trivializing one of the most violent crimes imaginable as a rhetorical insult, is so damaging and more insulting
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It does seem to be something that some people just think that it's totally fine to make that accusation based on nothing. It's definitely a thing that happens more online. You know, I think just people online make they feel like it's not real, so it's okay if they lie or if they just make some wild accusations. I've seen people do it in comments like, "Oh, this guy's a rapist," and it's like, "Oh," and like literally when they get pressed on it, it's like, "Oh, well, he's got these opinions I don't like, and because he's got these disgusting opinions, no doubt he does this as well." And it's like, that's just insane. I can't believe it. Now, she may get into this. I'll just...
to actual victims. It makes it impossible for me to take anything Tilly Middlehurst ever says again seriously.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. You couldn't take anybody like this seriously ever after making these kind of crazy accusations. Now, I do believe, I don't know if she's going to get into this because she's talking about the people's treatment on a podcast specifically, but I did see some other comments about she was making these about his beliefs on consent, and this is actually between him and his wife. Now, I haven't actually heard Andrew Wilson say this himself, but it does kind of seem to line up with some of his other things he said, and this is between him and his wife. Basically, the kind of agreement as husband and wife is there's no real need for consent, to ask for consent between them. Like, if one of them feels like getting it on, then they're getting it on. Okay? Now, I can understand that, like, maybe not everybody's into that. They don't want that. But if that's how they want to live, like, then that's totally fine. Like, that's their agreement and how they live. If his wife has a problem with it, she can say it. It's like, it's insane to me that this woman is basing the accusation because of how she feels about the agreement that him and his wife have in their own relationship. It's like, the amount of stretching here for, like, to make this absolute incredibly insane statement is just amazing. Yeah. And so, yeah, this woman is crazy. Not this woman here over. This is the Dadvocate, and she is fantastic. So I do recommend, if you want to watch the rest of that video, I'm sure she covers it very fairly. She's always seems pretty reasonable and yeah, pretty great, makes some great content. So yeah, go give her a like and a follow. And also, like, once again, if you enjoyed the show, guys, please be sure to drop a comment in there. A like, follow the channel. It really means a lot. That's probably all I've got time for tonight, and so I'm going to take a break. But thank you very much for watching, and I will be back again as soon as possible.